Biochemistry. Amino acid metabolism. Amino acid and protein metabolism involves various biochemical processes related to the processing of amino acids, the building blocks of proteins and proteins in the body. Amino acids are organic molecules that play an important role in protein synthesis, regulating various cellular functions, and providing precursor compounds for various important metabolites. This process also involves regulating the body's nitrogen balance, because amino acids contain nitrogen in the form of an amine group, nitrogen dihydride, which must be removed through a process called deamination. Here is a detailed explanation of amino acid and protein metabolism. 1. Protein digestion and absorption. This process begins when we consume foods that contain protein. Proteins in food, such as meat, eggs, or dairy products, must be digested and converted into amino acids so that they can be used by the body. Protein digestion. In the stomach, proteins are digested by the enzyme pepsin, which works in an acidic environment. Pepsin breaks down proteins into smaller peptides. In the small intestine, pancreatic protease enzymes such as trypsin, chymotrypsin, and carboxypeptidase further break down peptides into free amino acids and dipeptides. Absorption of amino acids. Amino acids and dipeptides resulting from digestion are absorbed through the intestinal wall into the bloodstream and then carried to the liver and throughout the body. Absorption of amino acids involves an active transport system that depends on energy. 2. Amino acid circulation in the blood and distribution. After absorption, amino acids will be carried by the blood to the liver and various body tissues to be used in protein synthesis or other metabolism. In the liver, amino acids can be used for various functions, such as protein synthesis, the formation of nitrogen compounds, or to produce energy through deamination, removal of amine groups. 3. Protein synthesis, anabolic process. Proteins are long polymers of amino acids arranged in a specific sequence based on the genetic information in DNA. The process of protein synthesis involves two main stages: transcription and translation. A. Transcription. In the cell nucleus, the genetic information in DNA is transcribed into messenger RNA, mRNA, molecules. These mRNAs carry information about the sequence of amino acids needed to form proteins. B. Translation. The mRNA moves to the ribosomes in the cytoplasm, where the translation process takes place. In the ribosomes, the sequence of amino acids is determined by the genetic code on the mRNA. Transfer RNA, tRNA, molecules carry the amino acids corresponding to the mRNA code to the ribosomes, where they are joined in the correct order to form proteins. This process involves energy in the form of GTP and various other factors. 4. Deamination of amino acids. Deamination is the process of removing the amine group, nitrogen dihydride, from amino acids. This process is necessary when the body does not need amino acids for protein synthesis, and when the body needs to regulate nitrogen balance. The result of deamination is ammonia, nitrogen trihydride, which is very toxic if not disposed of properly. Oxidative deamination, that is, in the liver. Amino acids can undergo oxidative deamination, where the amine group is converted to ammonia and a keto compound, aceketo acid. This ammonia is then converted to urea in the liver via the urea cycle, which is the main detoxification process for removing ammonia. Formation of ammonia and urea, that is, ammonia produced from deamination is converted to urea via the urea cycle, ornithine cycle. The urea formed is then carried to the kidneys to be excreted in the urine. 5. Use of amino acids in energy metabolism. Although amino acids are generally used for protein synthesis, the body can also use them as an energy source if needed. This process involves several steps: a ketoacidosis and gluconeogenesis, namely, amino acids can be converted into compounds involved in energy production. For example, certain amino acids can be converted into pyruvate, acetoacetate, or citric acid cycle intermediates, such as alpha-ketogluteric acid, which can be used in gluconeogenesis, glucose formation, or in the citric acid cycle to produce ATP. B. Amino acid metabolism in energy needs, namely, in conditions of starvation or fasting, the body can break down proteins from muscle or other tissues to provide amino acids, which are then used to produce glucose or ATP as an energy source. 6. Synthesis and metabolism of other nitrogen compounds. Amino acids are important precursors in the synthesis of various nitrogen compounds needed by the body, such as hormones, namely, some hormones, such as insulin, adrenaline, and thyroid hormone, are derived from amino acids. For example, insulin is derived from 2 polypeptide chains synthesized from amino acids. B. Neurotransmitters, namely, certain amino acids are used for the synthesis of neurotransmitters. For example, tryptophan is used for the synthesis of serotonin, and tyrosine is used for the synthesis of dopamine, norepinephrine, and epinephrine. C. Nucleic acids, namely, amino acids also play a role in the formation of nucleic acids, DNA and RNA, which are important for protein synthesis and cell replication. 7. Regulation of amino acid and protein metabolism. Amino acid and protein metabolism are tightly regulated by various regulatory mechanisms, including a hormone regulation, namely hormones such as insulin, glucagon, and cortisol play a role in regulating amino acid and protein metabolism. For example, insulin stimulates protein synthesis and prevents protein catabolism, while glucagon and cortisol trigger protein breakdown to provide the amino acids the body needs. B. Regulation by diet, namely, protein intake in food also affects amino acid metabolism. If protein intake is high, the body tends to increase protein synthesis and reduce protein catabolism. Conversely, protein deficiency will stimulate the breakdown of body proteins to provide the required amino acids. 8. Diseases associated with amino acid metabolism. Disorders in amino acid metabolism can cause a number of diseases, including phenylketonuria, PKU, namely, this disease is caused by a deficiency of the enzyme phenylalanine hydrolase, which converts phenylalanine to tyrosine. As a result, phenylalanine accumulates in the body and can damage the brain. B. Alkaptonuria, namely, a rare disease caused by a deficiency of the enzyme homogentisate oxidase, which leads to the accumulation of homogentisate acid in the body, causing dark urine coloration and joint damage. C. Hyperammonemia, namely, this condition occurs when the body cannot convert ammonia to urea, which can cause a dangerous buildup of ammonia in the blood. Conclusion: amino acid and protein metabolism involves a series of important processes that regulate the use and processing of amino acids in the body, from digestion to protein synthesis, deamination, energy use, and the synthesis of other nitrogen compounds. These processes are highly coordinated and regulated by various hormones and regulatory mechanisms to maintain nitrogen balance and support optimal body function. Disturbances in amino acid metabolism can lead to various serious metabolic diseases.